Title: My wife's mother gave her grandkids iPads, jewelry, and cash, except my daughter. Not really family, she said. My wife said nothing. Then my 9-year-old slid a box across the table, Start. I knew the moment she said it, those 4 words that cracked something in me. Not really family. She said it lightly, the way people swat away an insect. My mother-in-law, Evelyn, had that talent, turning cruelty into etiquette. She said it while handing out gifts. New iPads for her real grandkids, diamond bracelets for my wife's sister's daughters, envelopes of crisp cash that smelled like approval. Then there was my daughter, Lily, 9 years old, hands folded in her lap, polite, smiling too hard, waiting her turn. And then, nothing. Evelyn looked past her as if she were air. When Lily asked if she'd done something wrong, Evelyn smiled and said, "Oh, sweetheart, you're not really family, are you?" My wife didn't move, didn't speak. She just stared at the floor. That silence, that was the real betrayal. I married Claire knowing her mother hated me. I was the outsider, the son of a mechanic, not a lawyer or banker like the men Evelyn collected. I didn't fit her brand. But Claire had insisted I was different, that love was enough. For years I played the role, family dinners, polite smiles, biting my tongue when Evelyn's remarks cut too close. When Lily was born, I thought maybe things would change. But Evelyn only saw her as my reflection, a child born from the wrong half of the family tree. I kept hoping Claire would defend us. She never did. She'd say, "She's just old-fashioned, don't take it personally." But the day my daughter's eyes dimmed, I stopped hoping. That night, after the gift-giving, Lily sat on the edge of her bed. She asked if she'd done something to make Grandma mad. I told her no. That Grandma just forgot how to be kind. She nodded like she understood more than I wanted her to. Then she said something I didn't expect. Can I make her remember? That question stayed with me. The plan didn't come overnight. It took time, patience, observation. Revenge, when done right, isn't loud, it's precise. I started small, gathering things Evelyn valued most. Not her jewelry or her stocks, her image, that perfect reputation she wore like perfume. I found the cracks quickly. Financial manipulations, a hidden trust fund she'd borrowed from her late husband's estate, a charity foundation that wasn't quite what it claimed. I had documents, recordings, enough to collapse her carefully curated empire. But I didn't want to destroy her quietly. I wanted her to feel it. So I waited for the right moment. 3 months later, she invited us again, for dinner this time. Same house, same cold elegance. She wore pearls, poured wine, and acted as if the last incident never happened. Claire tried to smooth things over, told me to let it go. I smiled and agreed. Lily sat next to me, quiet but watchful. She'd been part of the plan now, not fully understanding the depth, but enough to know what she needed to do. After dinner, Evelyn presented new gifts to the other grandchildren. Again, a small ritual of exclusion. When she reached the end of the line, she looked at Lily and said, "Nothing for you, sweetheart. Maybe next time." And that's when my daughter looked at me. I gave her the slightest nod. She reached under her chair, pulled out a small wooden box, plain, smooth, unassuming, and slid it across the table toward Evelyn. "Grandma," she said, her voice calm, "Dad told me to give this to you if you ever ignored me again." The table went still. Evelyn frowned. "What is this?" "Open it," Lily said. She hesitated, sensing something off. Then she flipped the latch. Inside was a flash drive. Black. Simple. I watched her eyes narrow as she looked at it. "What's this supposed to be?" she asked. I leaned forward. "Proof." She blinked. "Proof of what?" "Of who you really are." I could feel Claire tense beside me. Evelyn looked around the table, uncomfortable with the attention. "This isn't funny." It's not a joke, I said. That drive holds every bank statement, every transaction, every fake donation receipt from your foundation. It also has a few recordings of you saying some unflattering things about your family, including your daughters. Color drained from her face. I continued, calm, deliberate. If you'd like to keep your name, your house, and your precious social standing, you'll treat my daughter with the respect she deserves. Because if you don't, every single file on that drive will be sent to your board, your investors, and a few very interested journalists. For the first time, she couldn't speak. Lily tilted her head. Do you remember now, Grandma? The silence that followed was thick enough to choke on. Evelyn's hands trembled. Her breath came shallow. Then she screamed, a sharp, cracking sound that echoed off the marble walls. She threw the box across the room as if it burned her. No one moved, not even Claire. We left shortly after. No goodbyes. In the car, Lily looked out the window and asked if Grandma was going to be okay. I told her yes. She just remembered something she forgot. She smiled, small but satisfied. Good. The next morning, Evelyn called. Not Claire, me. Her voice was fragile, foreign. She said she'd like to take Lily shopping next weekend, that she'd made a terrible mistake, that she wanted to make it right. I told her that would depend on Lily. Then I hung up. Claire hasn't spoken much since. I think she finally realized that silence, too, has consequences. She asked me if I planned the whole thing. I told her no. I just made sure the truth had teeth. Sometimes I think about that night, how easily people confuse blood with loyalty, heritage with humanity. Evelyn learned the difference too late. And Claire? She's learning now. As for me, I sleep fine. Because when my daughter slid that box across the table, she wasn't just delivering revenge. She was delivering a reminder. We may not be their kind of family, but we protect our own.